When you're adopted from another country, like I was from South Korea, from the streets, completely different type of place and really different type of people. It's a really interesting and often challenging process growing up in such a different world. I was actually adopted by a white mother and a South Korean father. So they were already a blended family, and they thought they weren't going to have any more kids or be able to. So they decided to adopt me from South Korea because during that time it was really popular among Lutheran churches to adopt kids from South Korea. Now, I'm not going to get into the details of what happens in that country in this video, but it is important to lay that out as a foundation for the things that I experienced and what I learned during my life. One of the things I realized at a young age was that I was much more like black people than I was like the other Asian people in America. As an example, when I went to high school as a Korean American in America, the Koreans actually were not accepting of me in my high school because the way I sound, and I had really embraced what I believed to be the American ideals. The white people fancied me because I spoke English so well, and I was actually also a really good athlete. That being said, nobody actually accepted me in high school and middle school except black people and a few Asian people that were from poorer areas within Tacoma, Washington. So growing up with a Asian father, he actually owned multiple businesses. I saw a lot of racism from different groups of people, white people, other minorities, and all of that. And I remember some of the chefs saying things sometimes that were so disgusting to me, referring to other humans as some sort of animal. And in my mind, I was so confused because we lived in this country and I had already seen that Asians were not anything special here. People just expected us to work in restaurants or laundromats or, whatever. And I couldn't really grasp the idea of one minority picking on another minority for something they have absolutely no control over. And seeing that just like as if it was just normal, everybody did it. And I could never understand, and I think that's why I could never really trust certain types of people because I felt like a lot of people in those groups were going to be the same. I got my ass beat a lot for standing up for what I believe to be right. I got my ass handed to me a lot of times in my life because don't believe I don't believe in racism, and I don't believe that we're destined to be stuck in this constant cycle of hate. And what I've come to realize is that the only way we're ever going to overcome these hurdles as a civilization is by talking about it, by making ourselves vulnerable so that other people realize that no, not all Asians are racist. And in fact, I think Asians have a lot of things to offer the world. But we as a society, especially in our country, we have to let some of the hurts go so that we can build new relationships and build a new foundation with the realization that Asian people and black people and indigenous people and all brown people, we are so powerful together and we are so close and yet so far from realizing the dream that could be. By the way, if you've watched this entire video, please make sure you subscribe to my Spotify, my Instagram, and my other social medias because it helps me spend more time making content you enjoy. Thank you, and take care of yourself.